Alright, so, going over a brief overview of how the truck works. The slash two-wheel drive VXL. Alright, so, right here's where your motor goes. Mounts back here. Here's the rear bumper. This is the gearbox right here. On this side, we've got these two screws right here and down here. That's what holds the motor in. The motor shaft comes through this opening. Let's see if I can get in there so you can see it better. Through this opening. And then on that, you put pinion gear. Slides onto the shaft. Right, like so. Then you've got this, which is what holds. I took my spur gear off right now because I stripped it out. But it goes on and it's held on these 3 bolts. 1, 2, 3, sits on there. This nut and this spring are your slipper cuts, and they tighten down this metal disc right here onto this little metal piece here and on the back disc there. And that says if you jam your motor throttle too hard, it will not kill the gear. It'll do the slipping on there, slipping on that metal pad. So you don't really ever want to have that completely locked up unless you have it programmed out on your ESC. Moving back here, you've got your, what's this? This is a tire. So you got your tires here, and let me take that one off real quick so you can see. Just a second. Right now, the receiver box right here with that little blue antenna, and the servo is that little blue box you see behind that. Almost there. Alright, so this is held on by that nut in there. Take it off with my little wrench. Alright, so there's your wheel. Take your wheel off. Let it pop down. Alright, so now, this is your A-arm back here. This is from the back. This is from the front. Your shock mounts on. There are holes here. You can see similar holes on the back, which is easier to see. It's right here. Shock mounts on that. And then screws into the shock tower up here. Your body posts, just like your front ones up here, they mount on using these right here. Mine's currently broken. I'm getting a replacement tomorrow, maybe. On the end of your A-arm, you've got this, which is your axle carrier. And here you've got 2 bearings inside here. They're rubber sealed. Then you've got your hex here, and this is what the wheel sits on. Inside of the wheel, you've got that nice hex opening right there. And that's a pin that goes through a hole on the threaded part of the axle here, and then that pin slides, or the hex slides on top of that. This is your axle, and it is 2 shafts that slide inside of each other, like that. And you want to make sure those are clean and no dirt gets in there, because otherwise they will not slide very well. This is your, I'm going to call it camber. It's either that, yeah, it's camber. Your camber length, and that is what's going to say if you want your wheels, vertical or leaning out or leaning in. And there's one of those on each side. Let's see. So obviously this is the shock. You can get different springs, and these are preload spacers up here. You can take this on and off. That adjusts your body height, and then you can adjust the progressiveness of the springs. So let's see. Moving on the chassis, we've got your ESC. Unlike most chassis, this is a very big chassis with lots of flat room for stuff. Here's your receiver box that I was showing you earlier. This one is waterproof, watertight. It's got a place over here where the wires all go out through and they get smushed down, and you can put gel in there to watertight. Wire goes here to, wire goes from here to there, the ESC. Here under the battery, over here to the servo. Here is my battery cover. That clips on with that clip. Power cords. Up here, these 2 holes here, this is for your transmitter. You can actually, or your track transponder, you can actually put one in there without having Velcro or anything. Up here, it's a very similar story with the A-arms, only a few differences. I'm not going to take this wheel off because it's going to take too long. Here is your camber link again, up here. And then down here, this is just like it, but this is your toe-in link. That adjusts your wheels so that you can have them turning in, or naturally turning out, or going straight. You've got your shocks here. This time we've only got 2 adjustment holes at the front, and the shock actually goes inside the A-arm and the bolt goes through it. Shocks are 2 inches in the front, 2.5 inches in the back, I believe. This is your shock tower here. I call it a horseshoe. It looks like a horseshoe. And then this is the body post, and then your front bumper. And it's got this thing right here that takes the shock and it bends out. Let me flip it upside down real quick. So from the underside, let me flip that further away. On the underside, you've got your A-arms here. And then in the back, you've got your rear skid plate here. And your front skid plate, mine is RPM because I kept breaking it right here. I broke 3 of them right there. That was annoying. Here's the bottom side of the servo. You've got this shaft right here. This connects the servo horn to the crankshaft inside here. And from inside here, this turn it that way, and the wheels turn. So I can zoom out. And then you rotate your servo again the other way, and they turn. So that's how that works. These are your Nerf bars. Mine has Velcro on it to hold my body on. A little bit nicer. And as you can see, this is where the battery sits, right here. And this is where your wheels are. So you see there's this massive thing, and it's upside down. So really, if you were going to go off-roading, this is really nice, because you got massive ground clearance. I mean, I can roll a tennis ball underneath there easily. However, if you're a racer, you've got your battery, your center of gravity, way up high, way higher than it needs to be. So that's going to be a disadvantage for racing. And of course, Traxxas has their electronics. That means it's their servo, their receiver, and their ESC, all under warranty. And their motor is somewhat under warranty. You spend $40 plus shipping to get it to them, and they'll ship you a new one. But remember, if you got the brushed one and your motor dies, you can turn in these, your ESC and your brush motor, to Hobby Shop or send it to Traxxas, and you get a $30 discount on upgrading to the brushless system, which is what I did. So that's just the basic overview of how the Traxxas Slash works. Thanks.